Yeah, sorry. I had to go and take care of some more stuff. Let's get back to it real quick. Let's get back into it before it's been taken wrongly. Woke up this morning, blessed. I know I look rough, but that's because we had on all that stuff, right? So I wanted to talk about what's going on, right? Meaning that the economy is messed up. This little snowstorm ain't really affect us because we New Yorkers. But you have to understand that a lot of people were affected. A lot of pipes freezing and stuff. But what I wanted to get at was the entrepreneurship of everything. Why? As a kid, right? This is what we used to do to make sure we had extra money for school, or buy Jordans, take care of the house, and get stuff. And like I was saying, if you was around people that did not see this as an opportunity to, let's say, get some extra chicken, help with a bill or something, or you laid around somebody that's not producing and they ain't think about go getting some money, definitely the time to reevaluate certain stuff if a person ain't go think about getting no chicken. But shout out all of them kids that was outside and people that made them kids or inspired them kids and other people to go outside. Why? Because the average job is not cutting it. I remember I used to have a conversation with my homegirl about like me and her brother being entrepreneurs and the unstability, right? And I had to explain to her that the most precious thing right now is time. Most people are working just to pay bills. You go somewhere for 8 hours out the day, the hour before you get there, the hour after of getting home, then you have to get that, shake that off. That's another 30 minutes, then you got to wash. That is time. And then, like I said, for the average person, right? Let's say you make $20 an hour. You work 8 hours. That's $160 a day. I know people like, oh, yeah, but I'm guaranteed to make my, let's say, money when I get paid on Friday or every 2 weeks. You have to understand that to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, or people in that aspect, they understand that 8 hours that they wasted for $160 is not worth it. Just being honest. Let's explain and break it down, right? Like I had to tell my homegirl, right? Let's say, for an example, me. I don't hit no clients for like 4 or 5 days, right? So, of course, I'm broke. A lot of people don't want to deal with that. But let's say I do and go ham that 6th day, and I get 3 clients for, let's say, 200 to 300 to 500, right? That is, let's say 300, that's $900. The average person is not making $900 from work, especially after taxes. What's the difference? The entrepreneur don't got to pay taxes. The entrepreneur still has massive extra time on their hands to get other things done. The entrepreneur doesn't have to be forced to do stuff, clock in, and have a set schedule. Now, the unstability is a trendy word because nobody was using that back in the day. Sorry. So for people that's using that, just honestly think that when you wake up in the morning, life is unstable. So you cannot mandate something because of a financial repertoire that you have learned from the internet. Because your mama ain't teach you that, your auntie ain't teach you that, and your granddaddy ain't teach you that. So now, think about it now in a bigger way for people that are into content, music, being a business owner, entrepreneur, right? Now, there's a lady on here, Jalika, right? So let's say she has a team of people like this, right? All 3 of us went outside yesterday and made $200 to $300, and we took some of that money to come back and put back into a pot to invest in something. The auction is coming up in Land Bank is around. I've been talking about it, right? The bare minimum to start out is around $1,000. So that means between 3 to 4 of us, for all the people that want to be, let's say, negative, or you got to have these certain qualifications, or you got to come with a table, right? This is how you break that barrier. And you have to understand people that don't analyze and look at this shit like that is around you are just not for you. Just being honest. They don't want to get right with you for some reason, and that's just it. Because people will sit here and complain, and then let's do the math. 3 of us would have went outside, or 2 of us, one stayed to do the marketing on the internet for free. Just post it. Then we take that money, put about $50 in our credit or secured card, take the rest, and go bid on some land. If not, we could take that and invest into a YouTube channel or Facebook and Google ads to expose the business for like $40 to $50. Why am I saying that, right? Because while you sit around and go wait to clock in for the next 3 days, that little $100 in them ads will probably bring me in way more clients to make way more money tax-free than the average person I know that's making $27 an hour. Now, another thing that this pertains to, the situation going on in the world. We're going to talk about that because the disassociation with people is causing a big misinformation thing, right? Don't go outside and protest. Black people, mind your business. This is the time for black people to do stuff behind the scenes to get ahead before this light comes back on us. Seriously. A lot of us is not understanding what is happening with that whole situation, right? And with what's going on now, or the opportunities of this little snowstorm, this situation, you have to be a person that's a forward thinker to be able to see the opportunity from chaos. Now, what's going on is going to either cause the next George Floyd riots, or they're going to try to use this to not do midterms. If that happens, it's going to be a lot worse financially, job-wise, loyalty-wise, economic-wise. And why am I saying that? It's because they're telling people to be quiet, because if you keep going out there, you're going to give that man a reason to do that. But here's the next thing. There's a video going around telling people don't send your kids to school, don't go to work and stuff. And I want to be the barrier of bad news to explain that that is not going to happen. Why? People live, for Americans, live through their jobs. I swear for God. Most people cannot function at all without not going to work, because their lives depend on work. Going to interact with strangers, that whole feeling of stability. If you have, let's say, a supervisor position, that fake ass position of power, people are addicted to that. I listen to it every day. And I know what's funny? I never see a person waking up smiling, happy, or on the internet like, day 30 of me going to work. Yes, girl. No. That is why. Why do I say that? Every country that's been going through stuff, they done blocked off the internet, you can't see, are revoting their governments. And you want to know why these people can do that? Because they are poor, right? But they're not poor working. We're poor working. So that means that for them, right, they're self-sufficient. Their businesses is owned by them. So for an example, you go to Jamaica and stuff, that's their little huts. They done took their little money to go buy boat, fruit, and things in that manner. So they don't have to go clock in and worry about a W-2 and stuff. So when they like, yo, bro, we not doing nothing, that's why them people out there doing that. In America, people love the job of slavery. It gives them a purpose in life. Why? Because if you ask people right now, what do they want to do in life and what they like, the average person don't know. Can't tell you a full sentence. That's why people are so in love with work and the fake words of stability and paying bills. And the average person, I'm talking about average. You know what the average person means in America? That's like 20-some million people. That's the average. That means the average person is a slave and then living check to check and don't have nothing to show for. The median to live right now is $140,000 a year. The median. You can't beat numbers. So, think about that. Think about, damn, I could have went outside, made an extra couple dollars, alleviated a bill, or invested in something else. Then if I would have did that with 2 and 3 of my peers, we could have took this little 100 instead of going to buy Don Julio and fake Jordans for the mall and invested into, let's say, one person credit, or one person that's talented, or one person that got a business to tell that nigga, like, listen, bro, we need our percentages back once you start booming. That's it. That is basically it. Let me say it again. The most precious thing in the world right now, people, is time. And I want to be a fact. If you was in Minnesota right now, your ass would not be going outside. Your ass would not trying to be an independent person and shoveling that goddamn snow, and they throwing tear gas and shooting people. The reason why it's not being spread or talked about is because it's not happening here yet. So what's the solution? Go and buy you some land. Because why? They can't just come on your land. You go places, go get your license to carry and conceal. Learn and get some of these Temu books on how to farm in clear water. Get a trust fund. It's free. Set it up for free. Go get you a life insurance policy. You put the life insurance policy in a trust. You open up the bank account. Now, if you have $1 million life policy, that's how you borrow from your insurance. Things in that manner. Because if we go into another year of this separation, they're complaining about inflation and shit, and we ain't going through nothing. Nothing. We ain't going through nothing. It ain't even ICE chasing niggas like that out here. This is the 2026, I'm telling you, especially for my males, is the year of no more excuses. I don't care. I just walked from here to Kent, jumped on a bus on Lie to go make that bag and beat the depression stage of nobody's helping. I'm fucked up. I can't do it. Excuses. You know what's crazy, right? I used to stay... Matter of fact, shout out my son Pedro and that boy Manny, right? They can tell you for a fact. We was sleeping in a bando on Orange. I'm talking about freezing cold. We was running around booking people with a metal BB gun out the weed spots. That's how messed up niggas was to survive. If we could have stood outside in conies and hoodies and capes for 2 to 3 days to hustle, trooping from here to Saratoga, you telling me that something in niggas done beat niggas to tell yourself that you cannot go outside and grind for yourself? So we could sell poison. We could tell a young guy to go spin a block and listen to some old Chief Keef and bullshit. But you telling me that we as black hustling 88 cracked slave children can't go outside and get no chicken together and pump it, put it back in the community and get right? You telling me you have an excuse to be on the internet doing fake stuff, but ain't on the internet like, yo, bro, I want to share to the world my talents and skills. I don't know what they putting in this goddamn water and these video games and these phones. I'm serious. I'm so serious. You know how many niggas I know that's fucked up I did not see outside or make a post about getting no chicken? But the solution is people understand that time is precious, and if we was in that situation where they was telling people don't send your kids to school, why would you send your kids to school? Especially if your kids have training. You don't need to send them to school. School for people is daycare because they don't have nothing to offer their children. Why are you going to work and there's a whole bunch of calamity happening and you ain't making nothing and you're watching? Matter of fact, they're sharing a video about a girl that's whatever they said all over the internet, right? And one person said it. She's making chicken. Only thing is she probably got to just be a little bit more serious for, let's say, the degradation, but that's a fact. People are on these phones twitching, streaming, because it's not worth it to go slave in a society to get the bare basics, pay taxes, and still don't have nothing to show for it. Just being honest. Niggas don't own a house, don't own that car. Anything happen, I've been telling people, you better start calling your coworkers and your boss for help. Because in the next year, that job shit and these robots and AI is going to show a lot of true colors of people being serious. Being serious. If you is not paying attention to the next 2 to 3 to 5 years of America, I feel sorry. And it's not that hard, people. Like I said, I've been doing this video because I wanted to show the process of the struggle and then the process of motivating, because people are scared to do that. Everybody want to wait until we got the Benz in the background and I'm the only nigga with a Benz in the hood. No. Like Cameron said, I got to figure out the way we all going to eat. So if I'm doing a podcast and I could put my man on to be a cameraman and pay him, that's what we supposed to be doing. But stay tuned for more from the Streets Entrepreneurs. You woke up this morning, you blessed. Get you something. The most precious thing in life is time. Why? Because you do not know if you're going to be here tomorrow. Love you.